I'll try to share with you a few memories that I have. Like I said, didn't look over my notes. I can't give you all the exact details, and don't hold me to exact wording. But on Zos Chanukah, Toshin Lamed Ches, I was then learning in Morristown. And I've been in yeshiva quite a few years. My father never, ever called me. I called him many times, but he never called me. And we just came back from New York to Morristown. It was Zos Chanukah. Throughout Chanukah, we were doing Messiah. So came back and I got an urgent message. They were looking for me that as soon as I come to yeshiva, I should immediately call my father. I could just picture now going to the payphone. And my father told me then, this was 2 o'clock, that at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, at 12:30, the Rebbe called him in, and the Rebbe told him that he's looking for a Baal Meretz and a Baal Seud. He was looking for someone who gets things done, but can keep a secret. And the Rebbe told him that he wants to make a Farbrengen today, after Mincha at 3:30, and he wants to wash, and he wants my father to prepare all the things of Farbrengen because he doesn't want anyone to know about it. And he wants so he had to get chalas. He also told him that he should get little bottles of mashke because, as we know, that always at Matzah Simchas Torah, the Rebbe would give out bottles of mashke to everyone. And being that there was no Farbrengen then, the Rebbe, I guess, wanted to make up for it now, so he wanted small bottles of mashke. Okay, my father heard what the Rebbe said, but he told the Rebbe he shouldn't worry about it, he'll get it done. And then my father started. Can I tell the Bachim the yeshiva? The Rebbe said, if you tell the Bachim the yeshiva, it's like you're telling in Australia. Like the Bachim, like you're telling Australia. So that's out. I don't remember to say to who he asked first or last. Then he said, what about Morristown? He did remember he had a son in Morristown. So he said, no, don't sort of make up some story, but don't say it's a Farbrengen. That's not I'm paraphrasing now. So he got permission from me. Then he said, can I tell my brothers? So the Rebbe said, your brothers you can tell. Maybe there were one or two others. That's what it was. I was just sitting here before, and Rebbe asked me to speak, and I got worried that I may have to speak, so I had to think about the story. And I was just thinking to myself, I don't understand what was going on over here. The Rebbe told my father he's looking for a Baal Seud. So why are you asking me if I can tell the Bachim the yeshiva for? I mean, the Rebbe should have said, go do what you have to do. So obviously, my father realized that the Rebbe doesn't want everyone to know about it, but yet he wants everyone there. Otherwise, why did he ask the question, and why did I even bother answering him? Because he did let certain people there. So just interesting that the Rebbe was making a Seudas, and for some reason or other, he didn't want everyone to know about it, but he still wanted people to know about it. So that's why people ended up getting there. So after the Farbrengen, so the Farbrengen was at 3:30. The Rebbe announced that he's in the Farbrengen. Baruch Hashem, my father kept everything in the car. He couldn't bring it into 7-7, everyone will see. So he went to the bakery, he got all the chalas that he had. He had someone who used to sell mashke, got all the mashke, and they left it in the car parked right in front of 770. And 3:30, as soon as they announced Farbrengen, there were a few bachim that were there that were helped out with my father, and they brought the chalas and the mashke for the Farbrengen. My uncle came to 770 at 3 o'clock. To Uncle Avram. And Bachim asked him, what are you doing here? He said, I came to get a seat. I came to get a seat for what? And I guess he realized then that he wasn't supposed to be saying anything. So the next day, the Rebbe called my father in to thank him for preparing everything. And then I think I think the Rebbe said, I think that my father told the Rebbe, Avram spilled the beans. Because when Avram came, he let everyone know that they figured out already there's going to be Farbrengen at 3:30. It's supposed to be around 3 o'clock, 10 after 3. And then, I'm not going to get into the whole arichas over here. There was actually 2 or 3 times where my father went back into the Rebbe to follow up. He wanted to have exact cheshbon of have the expenses for the chalas. I think the chalas came out to around $63. And then he asked him, what about the mashke? So my father said, ich zahle nicht für mashke. So the Rebbe said, whiskey, es kostet doch a sach Geld. So my father said, no, I have a guy who, he thinks I'm a Rebbe. And whatever mashke I need, he gives me all the mashke for free. So he says, he wanted to tell the Rebbe who this guy was. He said, if you remember, I wrote that he tells me the Rebbe, my father tells the Rebbe that he wrote in for this person's wife was sick, and she needed her fushlam. I wrote to you about her. So he tells the Rebbe that he called me up one day, and I asked him how his wife is doing. He said, "How is the Rebbe doing?" So he said, my father tells him, what are you worried about the Rebbe? You have to worry about, your wife. He says, my father's telling you so to the Rebbe. He says, the Rebbe, the whole world needs. But my wife, it's only for me. And therefore, it's more important the Rebbe should be gesund than my wife should be gesund. So the Rebbe told my father, first he was smiling when my father was telling the story, and then he got very serious. And the Rebbe told him, Zog him soll nicht sagen, als sagt noch einmal. Weil der Eibischte hat genug Jahren für beide. And his wife had a Fushulema, and the Rebbe also had a Fushulema. The Eibischte hat genug Jahren für beide. So in case anyone sometimes, don't worry about the Eibischte has enough years for everybody who you're praying for. Don't limit your prayers to particular people. You can pray for everyone. There's more details which, again, I can't share right now because I don't remember. Come to me later. But I do want to conclude. I want to conclude that my uncle Avram, I found this out after he passed away. It seems that my uncle Avram, every time he came to Farbrengen, afterwards he would write the Rebbe a zettel. Like you go over to a rabbi, you give me a shakoyach for a speech. My uncle used to write every time the Rebbe zettel after the Farbrengen, about the Farbrengen and thanking the Rebbe for the Farbrengen. So I guess this was no less important, or perhaps more important. He wrote the Rebbe a zettel, thanking the Rebbe that he invited him to the Seudas. He let my father told him. So the Rebbe answered with a bracha, whatever he said. I don't remember. But the Rebbe said, Ayin Bagdomas Hazoyar. And what? I don't think, no. Bagdomas Hazoyar. So I'll share with you a little bit that I remember from Bagdomas Hazoyar, because I learn Zohar every day. I'm joking. So, you didn't know that, let's go. So over there in the Zohar, it's interesting that again, I don't remember the exact details, but the story was over there that Abchia came up, Lamaila, and they started to question what Abchia was doing. I think Rabbi Shimon Hecht was questioning what Abchia was doing there. The Pile, they said that the world needs Abchia, and he can't come up here. He doesn't belong up here. The bottom line is they sent Abchia down for another how many years? 15 years. From Lamed Ches, 14 to Lamed Ches and Beis. 14, 15 years. Well, okay, so not exact years, 14, 15, 16, it's all the same. It's all the same. Around 15, when from 13 to 18, you rounded off to the closest number, which is 15. Akapanim, so over there, the Zohar says, and that's exactly what happened. I want to get into the connection with the Rebbe and Abchia. That's not for now. Not for now. But Baruch Hashem, we were zeicher to celebrate the special Yom Tov Rosh Chodesh, which is the culmination. Rabbi Krinsky points out that I didn't say that the Rebbe gave out kosher bracha. Obviously, he gave out kosher bracha. We washed it with kosher bracha, and the Rebbe gave out the bottles. Actually, the difference was only between that Farbrengen and the other Farbrengen was that the small bottles, usually the Rebbe gave out 8-ounce bottles of vodka. They couldn't get it so quickly, so those were 16-ounce bottles of vodka, or bigger bottles of vodka. But Stami gave out less bottles because those people. So the amount what he gave out was still the same, but Al Kapanim is, at this time, being that the mic is in my hand now, I'm a hot Shefer Blasman. So I'm talking about the Eibush Chanukah from Beide, I would like to use this opportunity now to wish my mother, Chava Bas Estelei, should have a full Shleima Kreva. The Eibush soll geben Asach Jahren und gesunde Jahren. Sie soll kennen anfangen mit der Averis HaKodesh. She can go on vacation now a little bit because it's the winter time, but soon we have to start getting ready for camp, and she has to get everything ready. So another 30 days maximum, she can be on vacation. After that, she has to get back to work. January 1st, she has to start working. So I don't want to give the Eibush another 30 days. He can do it tomorrow, but at least before then, the Eibush will give him full Shleima Kreva, as the Rebbe said, the Eibush will help in as we celebrate this special day, which the Rebbe wished us all good Yom Tov, which he saw it as a Yom Tov. This Yom Tov should lead us to the great Yom Tov that the Rebbe will take us out of Golas, Kar of Mamish, and will be zeicher to hear Teirach Hadosh mit Itzeitze Mekar of Mamish.